Today I'm out looking for peeler crabs. I believe they're one of the best baits around. One thing's for certain, they're probably one of the most expensive. So what I'm going to try and do is show you how to collect them. You can collect them all around the shores of the UK, but today we've chosen a location. It's rocky, there's rock pools, there's lots of weed, and that's the kind of place that the crabs like to hide. And also it's one of the first places that the fish come in when the molt starts to mooch around and see if they can pick some of those crabs up. There's not many fish will turn their nose up at a peeler crab. Let's see if we can find some today. Well, I found my first crab. Let's see if it's a peeler crab or not. You can see there where the shell's just collapsing as I put a little bit of pressure onto it, and that's a sure sign that that's a peeler crab. So what kind of habitat do the crabs actually live in? Well, it's fairly obvious they need water, but as the tide goes out, especially on the big spring tides, they get caught in these rock pools. So they need to take some shelter. They like to go behind weed, they like to go underneath big boulders and even small ones. So by carefully turning over your boulders and your stones and your weeds, you'll often find the crabs. A quick look under these ones here. Nothing under that. It's very important that you place the boulders and the stones back in the same position that you picked them up as, because there's a whole ecosystem living all around these rocks and these stones, and if you disturb them, turn it over upside down and just let the tide wash it away, there's a whole lot of food that feeds the microorganisms and the tiny little shrimps that the larger fish come to feed on. So it's very important that you return the stones and your boulders back to where you got them in the first place. And even the weed, when you turn it over, just turn it back over, because there might be a little blenny under there that's being shaded by that bit of weed. So I just found a little crab under this rock here. Best thing to do is just grab its pincers so it can't damage you. Give it a little squeeze there, see if it's hard. If it's still hard and you can't feel any give on that side part, just put it back to where it was, cover it back over. Find another crab here. Okay, this is very obvious that this is a peeler crab. Sometimes when you pick them up, you're not quite sure, but as far as this one's concerned, I'm very, very sure. It almost looks dead. It's very lethargic. If they're feisty, they're either not a peeler crab or they're not quite ready to peel. But this one, I can actually see that the shell has started to detach itself away from the body as a new shell pushes up. And this is in its latter stages of peeling. So this is a good one to go in the bucket. So we often hear about peeler crab. What actually is a peeler crab? All it is just a normal crab that's getting to the stage where it's molting because it needs to grow, and the only way it can grow is by breaking out of its old shell. What it does is it fills itself full of water, it releases amino acids, and this is what the fish home in, is that amino acids. That's why they're such a good bait, because it's one of the few times where they can actually find them when they're not crawling about on the actual seafloor in the open. The shell simply is pushed off, as were the legs and the claws, and it generates this new shell underneath. It's all very soft at the moment, but within a day or so it hardens up and it increases in size by about 10% almost straight away. That's what a peeler crab is. Fish absolutely love them. So I managed to collect about a dozen peeler crabs. It took me about an hour and 20 minutes. It's quite fun doing it. So you can go out, take your kids, earn your brownie points, get some more fish in town. And if you want to know how to prepare them, have a look at my other video on preparing peeler crabs.